So you want to get into option trading, but you don't know where to start. All your friends are telling you, learn this, learn that. But guys, if you don't understand when I say take calls at pre-market low, then you don't even know the basics. So this is where you start, guys. There's 3 levels to option trading. There's the basics. The basics is candlesticks and volume and time frames, because it does not matter what chart you pull up, whether it's crypto, whether it's future trading, whether you're trading currency, it does not matter. There's always candlesticks and volume at the bottom as a default. It does not matter, guys. If you skip the basics, that's why you're losing. Most people skip the basics because they want to go straight to learning the tools and thinking trend lines is all they need. But that's why they don't understand how to enter. So candlesticks and terminology, as well as volume and time frames, is the basics, is what you need to know in order to even start the foundation of option trading. Because it doesn't matter what chart it is, there's a candlestick always forming, and each candle tells a story. That's something that I emphasize the most. And if you don't understand candlesticks, you're already losing. Volume. Without understanding volume, you can't even tell how many buyers or sellers are stepping in. So if you don't understand volume, that's something that you need to learn. Time frames is really important because the higher the time frame, the more data there is. So it's the higher the time frame, the stronger the move. If you're looking at the 4-hour time frame and you see a flag pattern at the 4-hour time frame, best believe that's going to be a big move. Compared to when you're looking at a 1-minute pattern, it's only going to be a 1-minute move. It's going to be real quick and small. After you get past level 1, which is just the basics, the default of when you first pop up your chart, it's just candlesticks and volume and time frames. Then you can get on to learning technical analysis, which is support and resistance. And the reason why support and resistance is really important is because you need to find the strongest level for every time a stock hits. You see, what I do is I look on the higher time frame, like the daily and the weekly, and find the strongest resistance level and wait for the market to break it, and I take calls and I profit on it. So you need to understand support and resistance levels. Without that, you're just blindly trading and taking calls at random levels, especially if you don't know what candlesticks mean. Next, you need to learn trend lines, because it's real easy when the trend is in your favor. The trend is your friend. If you haven't heard that, it's probably because you don't understand trend lines. If you can understand trend lines and support and resistance, imagine if the trend starts coming down and we break above structure and then we break your resistance level, and that's how you take calls. After you learn technical analysis and the basics, then you can get onto the advanced, which is adding your tools, which is what most people skip the first 2 and go straight to tools thinking that that's all they need. They're like, what's the best indicator? What's the best EMA? If you don't understand candlesticks and you don't understand volume and you're trying to just trade EMAs and all these Bollinger Bands and VWAPs, you're gonna lose. You need to understand the basics as well as the technical analysis in order to even use the tools in your favor. And once you add all 3 of those into one big puzzle, I promise you, you'll be a successful trader and you'll be an experienced trader where you don't need to rely on somebody like me to tell you what to do and when to hit the button. So first, guys, let's recap. Where to start? First, you need to understand the basic terminology. If I told you to buy calls at pre-market high, do you even know what that means? I bet you don't. Then you need to learn candlesticks, because each candle literally tells a story, and I cannot emphasize that enough. People skip candlesticks thinking that they're better than that, but guys, you're gonna lose. Volume. Volume is really important because it tells you how many buyers or sellers are stepping in compared to the last time you compared. And time frames is also really important because time frames tell you the higher the time frame, the more data there is. So after you learn those simple basics, which is just defaulted on your chart no matter what you do, then you got to learn your simple technical analysis like support, resistance, and trend lines. It's real simple stuff. And if you don't get that and you try to move on to the tools, you're going to lose. Next is the advanced tools, which is right here. EMAs, VWAP, RSI, Bollinger Bands. Once you combine all 3 of these levels into one, I promise you, you will be a successful trader and you won't even need me around to tell you what to do. But after you learn all this, then you can call yourself a trader.